Hello everybody, welcome to That's Football. Manchester City win 2-1 in Madrid against Real Madrid. It could well be Xabi Alonso's last game, which opens up the possibilities of a Liverpool move maybe. Would Liverpool fans take him over Slot? Let us know. But are Manchester City back? That is such a statement win to go to Spain and win, and deserve to win as well. I thought Real Madrid were very good for the first half an hour. But as soon as Man City got in charge, and they did deserve to be in charge, 2-1 up. That was a penalty on Haaland. It was a legitimate goal from a corner, and they could have had more in the second half. And whilst Madrid had chances, you just felt in the second half that the fitness and mentality of Manchester City, Real Madrid became more tired, more erratic, and I think in the second half, Man City, created more chances. But the big thing there is that we've seen over the last few weeks that Man City are starting to close the gap on Arsenal in the league, and now they're doing things in the Champions League as well. So if you're a Man City fan, I think they're a really interesting prospect in the second half of the season. We know this is a new Man City side. I'm seeing people saying, oh, Arsenal are going to bottle it because Man City are back. And I'm like, they are back, but I don't think they're back in the way. This is not the De Bruyne Man City. This is not the Rodri Man City. This is a different Man City. This is like Doku coming to the fore, Nico in the midfield, Cherki. They're a different Man City. They're a little bit more direct as well. It's less tiki-taka and a little bit more direct. They're actually quite an interesting team to watch this season. And I think it's a new Pep Guardiola side. I think it's really exciting because this is one of the things that I've always squared heavily against Pep in comparison to other managers, is that, he's a bit of a silver spoon manager. He's a good manager, but he goes into clubs that give him money, give him good players, and then he's very, very successful. He's never been to like an Aberdeen or a Porto and won things, and he's never rebuilt a team. Well, he is here. This is a rebuild. This is a different Man City side to the one that we traditionally think, well, they're up front, they're going to win it now. Different Manchester City side, playing in a different way. And it's going to be intriguing to see what they do in the second half of the season, because confidence-wise, they're a new side and they're growing together. And the danger is, for everybody else, is that once this side gets confident and more fluid, then they become dominant. So, look, I know Arsenal have won tonight. They're doing fantastically well in Europe. Maybe this year we'll get an English winner. But Manchester City tonight, whilst not always on top and not always the most fluid, a very professional job in the first half, and in the second half, I feel they were the better side. I think Real Madrid, as I said, became more erratic, whereas Man City were more composed and clinical without getting that killer third goal. And obviously, he made subs quite early as well. He took Haaland and Cherki off with 20 minutes to go. When you're winning a game 2-1 in the Bernabéu, that shows confidence in your bench, which he has. He's got a lot of options. So, look, Man City are an interesting team this season. I mean, I'm not a fan of City. I normally, go in on them. But over the years, I don't like Liverpool either. But I'd look at Klopp's Liverpool and go, look, in fairness, they're playing good football. In fairness, Man City this season, and probably for the first time under Pep's reign, I find them a good team to watch. It's not boring. I said this about United. They're the best footballing side we've played this season. And I think they're the best footballing side in the Prem. I'm not taking anything away from Arsenal. I still think Arsenal are favourites to win the Prem, and they get a lot of teams that park the bus against them. But you look at the volume of goals that Man City score with Haaland in one-on-one situations, teams aren't really parking the bus against Man City because they feel that you can score. It's quite a clever way for Pep to play because you feel you can score against Man City, so you go for it, but then you leave space at the back. How long teams will keep doing that, I don't know. But you can score against them, but then you leave the door open. We saw Bournemouth go to the Etihad with a high line twice, they concede. So, but it's entertaining to watch. And I actually think that was a fantastic game of football tonight as well. I really do. Real Madrid played their part. Man City played their part. I thought it was a really good game of football as well. And that's what you want to watch. So fair play to Man City. Big result. Obviously, there's the old, where does that put La Liga in relation to the Premier League now? Because we've seen there a Premier League side go to Madrid and not comfortably, but deserve to beat them. Madrid look like they're going to have to make changes. And I feel bad for Alonso. I like Alonso. I feel it was the manager Liverpool wanted, who's now available, with a manager that might not be that guy. That's for Liverpool fans to decide. But I look at Alonso and I think Real Madrid at times can be a thankless task, player FC and all that. So I still think he's a good coach. Be interesting to see where he ends up next if they sack him, because he's still very young and you can't argue with him going to Real Madrid when he's played for them and he's Spanish. But probably wasn't the right move for his career. In some ways, a little bit like Lampard going to Chelsea too soon. You look at what he's doing at Coventry now. So look, whether they sack him tonight or not, I think there's an inevitability to it, but fair play. I think he's a good coach. Get your comments in. Let me know your thoughts. Man City, you've got to say they're back now. They're in the race for the Champions League. They're in the race for the Premier League. They're looking good. Give me your thoughts. Smash a like on the video and subscribe. I'll speak to you on the next one.